You may have heard of a spiritual download before, and you're thinking, why haven't I had one of these? Well, you probably already have, but it was just too quiet for you to hear it. Spiritual downloads are basically when the universe sends you a message. And the funny thing is that the universe is always sending us these messages. The thing is that we just have to be receptive enough to hear it. So, how to be receptive enough to hear it? Well, it's very, very simple, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it in this video. And I'm going to tell you how, but more importantly, I'm going to tell you why spiritual downloads happen. Okay? So, the whole universe, spirit, is constantly flowing, right? And we as physical beings are actually a manifestation of spirit. So it's our natural state to actually be moving with the universe, and the messages should be very clear to us, except it's us ourselves that are blocking this flow. Now, what blocks this flow? It's basically a disharmony between our thoughts, emotions, and our will. So the fastest way to get a spiritual download, and it's super simple, it's basically if you can align your thoughts, emotions, and your will. So I'm going to give you a how-to. And you don't even have to think about will for this one. Just think about thoughts and emotions. All right. Run through your day. How many random, pointless, and many numerous thoughts do you have that are not directly intentional? How many? And if you're aware of this, how many emotions also spring from those random thoughts? A lot, right? You could probably, if you counted, it would be in the hundreds of thoughts that are just purely random, coincidental, by chance, on accident, not intentional, not focused, and not from your own will of directed thought. And that's it. So for one day, the simplest way to get a spiritual download, to get a spiritual message from the universe, is to harmonize your thoughts and emotions. And so you don't even have to, I'm not even telling you to completely not have any random thoughts, but for one day, if you can pay attention to almost every thought that you have, right? Every single thought that you have while you're having that thought, think to yourself, was that an intentional thought? Did I direct my mind to produce that thought? And because of that thought, was the next thought was the next thought a logical sequence of that first thought? And now do the same things with your emotions. I have an emotion. Was that emotion intentional? Did I mean to have that emotion? Or did that emotion just happen because something happened to me? I was irritated. Something caught me off guard and I was scared. Okay? And so I'm not asking you to control every single thought and every single emotion. If you did that, you'd be enlightened. But I'm asking you for one day, if you can even try to be conscious of all the thoughts and on the other side of all the emotions. And once you are conscious of them, try to be intentional with your thoughts. Try to be logical with your thoughts. Try to be in control of your emotions. Like, I'm sad right now. Why am I sad? Do I have to be sad? Can I not be sad? Can I choose an emotion that I want to choose? And if you're aware for one day of your thoughts and emotions, you can even try for maybe half a day. And if you can even get past half a day, I promise you, you will be aligned enough, because normally humans and we are not aligned at all. We're totally misaligned. Thoughts are random, emotions are random. So if you could even try to be conscious for a day, then I promise you'll be aligned enough in your thoughts and emotions to get a spiritual download, to get a message from the universe. Because all that spiritual downloads and messages from the universe are, why they happen, is because of this alignment. All right? And that's what I'm saying. The why is even more important than the how. So that's how to do it, right? Very simple. Align your thoughts and emotions. But the reason why, the principle behind it, is that spirit is always flowing. The universe is always flowing. And in fact, we are part of that flow, because at the end of every physical manifestation, everything that we do physically, everything that happens physically is just a result of spirit, of the universe flowing. And so naturally, we should be in tune with that. We should be flowing with it. Everything that the universe is trying to push out, we should be receptive to that and doing it, or allowing it to be done through us. But we block it. We block it because we're not harmonized within ourselves. And what is harmony within yourself? Well, what is an inner state? What are soul properties? The three primary soul properties are your thoughts, your emotions, and your will. Your will means like how strong of a willpower do you have to go do something? And we're not even talking about willpower yet, because willpower is actually the hardest one to control. Thoughts are the easiest to control, and emotions are the second hardest to control. But this triad of thoughts, emotions, and willpower is our inner soul properties. This is the triad that makes up our soul, that makes up the inner world. And if you, the microcosm, can align yourself in this triad, this trinity, then you will be in harmony with the macrocosm, which is outside, which is the spirit, which is the universe. And those messages will come automatically, okay? The important thing here is that this is really not about, even if you do this and you do have a spiritual download, this is just a glimpse, right? So it's not about having one extreme day where you have a spiritual download or you have a message from the universe. These are great because they give you that inspiration to keep going for that. But instead of having just one extreme day of very intense messages from the universe, it's more about the marathon, about sustained effort throughout your life of having and doing this, right? It's like we're not running a sprint, it's a marathon, right? For life. And what you want to do is not these extreme changes to your external life. You want to do very subtle, silent alterations in your thoughts and your emotions. It starts with the littlest subtle alteration of your thoughts, of just being conscious of that one thought and that one part of the day, right? It starts with that one. And if you can have that same principle of being conscious of your thoughts, emotions, then you start applying it to more thoughts and more thoughts. And this slowly but surely builds up the spiritual power, builds up that harmony. And when you build up that harmony, then you align your triad within you, and that will harmonize you to the spirit. And the spiritual downloads, the divine messages will come automatically. You won't even have to try. They'll be so abundant once you're able to harmonize your thoughts, feelings, and your willpower. Okay? So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.